Viewers, good evening and welcome to today's URMtv news with me, Ukasho Abimagama. First, the headlines. President Tinubu asked protesters to come to dialogue table. Bauchi State government to set up task force on private schools. Nigerians Meteorological Center project heavy downpour into our local government. And many more. Stay tuned. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked those protesting against his administration to immediately suspend the protests and come to the dialogue table. This was made known in a nationwide broadcast this morning, saying he was pained by the loss of lives and properties in the ongoing protests and asked those involved to suspend the protest. Further said the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops in Kano, Jigawa, Kaduna, and Borno is contrary to the promise made by the protesters that there would be a peace across the country during and after the protest.
I am especially pained by the loss of lives in Borno, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna, and other states, the destruction of facilities in some states, and the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops, contrary to the promise of protest organizers that the protest will be peaceful across the country. The destruction of properties set us back as a nation, as scarce resources will be again used to restore them.
While commiserating those who lost their lives and their families, added that it is his responsibility to ensure public order, adding that his administration cannot stand idly by and allow a few with a clear political agenda to tear Nigeria apart.
I commiserate with the families and relations of those who have died in the protest. We must stop further bloodshed, violence, and destruction. As the president of this country, I must ensure public order in line with the constitutional oath to protect the lives and property of every citizen. Our government will not stand idly by and allow a few with a clear political agenda to tear this nation apart.
Thereby, enjoin protesters and the organizers to suspend any further protests and create room for dialogue. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu announced the removal of fuel subsidies and multiple foreign exchange rate in a national broadcast. Stating these measures were hindering Nigeria's economic development, he explained that the changes aim to curb smuggling and reduce subsidies benefiting neighboring countries. Tinubu highlighted his government achievement in lowering debt servicing costs and initiating major infrastructure projects. He emphasized the importance of harnessing countries' gas resources and introduced a student loan scheme to support youth, along with programs for school development benefiting over 600,000 nano businesses. He, however, announced financial support for large manufacturers to enhance production and sign national minimum wage into law to increase earnings for the lowest paid workers. The Bauchi State government has set out to create a task force focused on private schools in the state. The Commissioner for Education, Dr. Jamila Dahiru, made this known during a media briefing on a memo presented at the Executive Council meeting of the ministry. The Commissioner also highlighted the potential benefit of this task force in enhancing the quality of education by these schools, thereby contributing to the overall educational landscape of Bauchi State. Dr. Jamila Dahiru noted that collaboration between government and private school operators will be crucial in achieving the objectives of the task force. She further maintained that the initiative reflects the present administration's commitment to improving educational standards. In a related development, the Bauchi State Police Command has apprehended over 60 protesters protesting against bad governance in the state. Awali Musa Muhammad, the State Commissioner of Police, disclosed this in Bauchi while updating journalists on the outcome of the protest. Muhammad said that the protesters were arrested following their violent behavior while the protest was ongoing. He further explained that the arrests were made due to breaches of public order an unlawful assembly by the protesters who did not get police permission before embarking on the protest. However, the commissioner said one of his police officers was injured as the protesters became unruly, engaging in pawn theft and property destruction throughout the metropolis. Following the increase in rainfall, a flood destroyed over 210 houses and damaged thousands of hectares of farmland with an estimated loss of millions of naira. Dr. Umar Gabarin, the coordinator of the Bauchi State Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, disclosed that the flood has affected almost every part of the state. Dr. Gabarin, however, identified Cheledi in Kip local government area, Magamagumo into local government area, Kari in Darazo local government, and Zinti in Misau local government as the worst hit communities in the state. He noted that 7 other local governments, including Itasgado, Jamahadi, Ganjuashira, Zaki, Warji, and Katagum, at high to moderate risks of further flooding, making the total of 9. He noted that many residents disregarded warning from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET, which had provided specific locations and times for heavy rainfall projections. The neglect of this warning has contributed to the severity of the disaster. As the protests marked the 4th day, police stopped Lagos protesters from marching beyond the Freedom Park, Ojota. The Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Okofo, pleaded with end bad governance protesters in Lagos to go home and wait for the government intervention. Paul Okofo also approached the protesters, urging them to disperse peacefully and return to their homes. Emphasizing the importance of patience, he said that the government will soon address their concern regarding the poor governance. While in Jos, the capital city of Plateau State, it marks a significant day in the history of the state and Nigeria, when Muslim brothers came out in their numbers to give cover to the Christian brethren at all airports during the Sunday service amid the ongoing protests, which signified that Plateau State will reclaim its proper place as the home of peace and tourism. Viewers, with this report, we've come to the end of today's URMtv news, but before we go, a quick recap of the major stories. You've heard that President Tinubu asked protesters to come to dialogue table. Bauchi State government to set off task force on private schools. Nigerian Meteorological Centers project heavy downpour into local government. On behalf of the production crew, Muhammad Umar Babson and Kabiru Aminuduri, and I, Ukasha Rabi Magama, saying do have a lovely day, and don't forget to join us on our social media platforms for more interesting news packages. Thank you.